A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now here's Ross. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's the 2nd-year back from Southern Miss, Ito Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And the judge does a nice job there of navigating and picking up some yardage. Remember, no Tevin Coleman in the backfield, so he's moved up in the pecking order, getting a lot of playing time for these Atlanta Falcons.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
The 37-yard line.
Ready, flight 25, wait. Let's go, defense. Out of time. It's out of time.
From the shotgun, Ryan. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the run. Go, Mike. Guy. 6-man. Check curls.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
At their own 34-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Smith running right. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
I got him.
Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run. It's Barner. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
14-yard line.
Ready. 25. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. 25.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's got his man here. It's Green. And stacked a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. An opportunity to get back to level after the fumble return touchdown. 1st and goal. Here we go now with Smith. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. Now the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. They go read option with Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. 2nd and 5 now. Wilson. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A reminder later tonight, Sunday Night Football will see a game in the NFL 100 Series, a rematch of the very first AFL-NFL Championship game, later, of course, known as Super Bowl I. It pits the Packers against the Chiefs from Arrowhead, and that should be a fun one.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 47-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Come on, D. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Hey, South. I'm coming. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Here we go. 51. Rush in. Rush in.
A give to Smith out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
3rd down and 8.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's complete. Hooper. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And the Falcons, 1st down.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Face.
Operating from the gun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And caught, right side, Green. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a loss of 11 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on second down. Wilson escaping the pressure right. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll try the right side here with Smith. Room to run inside the 40. 23 yards the pickup there. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now it's Ryan. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. But now it's third and goal. The Falcons on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third and goal. From the gun, Ryan. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that you're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Second half begins with a run by Smith, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Focus, defense, focus.
Now a run for Barner. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. Steps away to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Markevious Mingo able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. .51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Left side complete to Lockett. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. He will find the rookie from Ole Miss. That's DK Metcalf. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches.
A.J. Green. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Falcons. A.J. Green. 98 yards, and the Falcons will extend their lead. Dan Quinn's told his offense, let's try and get 2 more. Operating from the gun. Ryan looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 60 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wilson, that is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will shave 1 more off this lead. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready? 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Now Ito Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You must be dreaming.
A first down carry for Smith. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Let's go, D. Got it.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. He's going to air it out deep for Green, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
380. Check line 54. Line 54. I got you.
Now Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed it. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Ready. Line 25. 50, Mike, 50. Get that quarterback, D-line.
On 1st down, it's Smith. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
And this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 18-yard line.
Mike 59. So we got man. Check it backer.
They begin with a run by Smith. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Big ass. Hey, check.
On 1st down, Smith. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now the throw hauled in by Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Smith. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, 57 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
What? Mike 54. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 1st down, Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this. I know you are, too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground with Smith. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, 10, and he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And the Seahawks first down.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Here we go.
Now Wilson on first down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And